So, so we've heard from Otto Addo. We've heard some of the things that he's had to say in the aftermath of those really incredibly poor results against Sudan, which means that there will be a mighty struggle for the Nations Cup. In about a 20-minute video, he spoke quite extensively. He was profusely sorry. He said he tried to remind us that there have been really, really good signs of where the team is heading to by highlighting the form in home games against Nigeria. He keeps mentioning the home game against Angola. I watched that. I don't think the team were that great. He talks about the home game against Sudan. I don't know why he doesn't find the finishing to be as problematic as it was. But he says they were the small margins. I think if you miss 3-4 one-on-one opportunities, they are no longer small margins. They are big margins, because it means that you can finish off and your strikers keep hitting the ball against directly at the goalkeeper. The chances that were missed in that game is bad. I thought it was instructive that he spoke about how players do not have to buy into the superstition that missing opportunities comes with that. But I was particularly intrigued by the part where he addresses what he considers a major concern relating to the expectation level of the Ghanaian. Let's just listen to this and then we'll come back to it and then I'll address it.
It's a journey Ghana has been going, like I said before, since several years. And we have to reflect that the team is not there where we want them to be. And it's a different time. People, sometimes I think people are a little bit stuck in the past. They're living in the actual time now. And we always refer to the past, but we have to think about now. What is about now? And we have to see what our options now, what we do now. And I can't compare players who have been playing in Chelsea, Juventus, Turin, Barcelona, Inter Milan, AC Milan. We had all these kind of players. Compare them with all the respect to our players, with our players at the moment. Maybe they will get there one day, but they're not there yet. And this is no excuse. We have to beat out of 2 games. We have to beat at least one time, and maybe one time draw. We have to beat Sudan, But it's very, very difficult for the players, especially like if before the matches there's a lot of negativity towards them. And if it's after the game, like I said, it's normal. But even if it's before, for me, this is not normal. So, but I can understand.
So basically, Otto Addo is trying to suggest that we've got to manage our expectation. A big part of that, he says, is because the sort of pressure that we put on the players and the sense that we keep comparing them to the past doesn't work. And then he mentions, as he himself said, that in the past we had players who played for AC Milan, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Juventus, Chelsea, and the rest. And that's true. What Otto Addo doesn't mention, though, is that that team and those players, and I'm guessing he's referring to the likes of Michael Essien, Suleiman Tare, who used to play for Inter Milan. I think Kevin Prince Boateng went to Barcelona at a certain point in his career. And then you had Kwadwo Asamoah, who played for Juventus. So that's true. But what Otto doesn't mention is that those players went through a phase with the Black Stars, and maybe we are going through that phase. Michael Essien had, in 2006 when we went to the World Cup, a really big player. Kwadwo Asamoah was brilliant. But I always like to refer people to the 2006 World Cup squad. At that time, Asamoah was playing for Udinese or Modena, one of them. Suleiman Tare was at Udinese. You had Razak Pimpon, Otto himself, not in the greatest moment of his career. You had Derek Boateng. Sami Kufuor was getting towards the tail end of his career. John Pencil was playing in the Israeli league. Adokwe Papa was playing on the left, one of our best players. Sheila Iliasu, the centre back, was a home-based player. And then we brought in another player who played on the left side. I've forgotten this guy's name. He used to play for All Blacks at some point, and later Kim Faisal. We're all home-based players. They developed into really good materials over the period. I have no doubt in my mind about that. But the evidence was there. Asamoah went on to become a big name player. Suleiman Tari had a few big name teams to play for later on. But there were the evidence of the back of that World Cup was important. And these players have played at the World Cup. What we are asking for is to see improvement. It's not enough for us that they don't play for Barcelona, Chelsea, and the rest. The quality is not the same. But we can ask the same of the commitment. We can ask the same of the energy. We can ask the same of the passion. And that's not us being negative. That's us demanding the most from our team. For instance, I'll give you a very simple example. In this our team, and I've been saying this practically the whole day. In this team, you have our star boy Kudus, West Ham United. And then you have another really good player, you have to say, even though he's not proved it, Salisu Mohammed, who plays at Monaco. You have a lot of players, Jiku at Fenerbahce, Mumin for Rayo Vallecano in the Spanish top flight. You have a lot of players who are playing for clubs that are not remotely worse off than what the likes of what a lot of the players who have helped build the base of Ghana football started from. In the 2010 World Cup, in fact, some of our best players were Jonathan Mensah, Samuel Nkum, Dede Ayew, who was playing for Ale Avignon, and that sort of thing. And we were led in attack at some point by Prince Tego. I am saying that you don't need the players playing for Chelsea and the rest to realistically expect your country to win games when you play Niger, when you play against Sudan twice, when you play Angola. You don't need your players to be at the level of Chelsea, Barcelona, and the rest when they play against these countries, because it's a simple question. What teams do the players from Sudan, from Niger, and the rest play for? So the expectation that they beat these countries is not an overburdening expectation. It's a realistic expectation that we can make as Ghanaians. It's a realistic demand that we can make as a country. And it's a realistic demand that we must make. But the thing that I liked about Otto Addo is that he said some really great things. He talks about how, as the leader, he needs to have a bigger picture approach. And I think he's correct. And I'm glad that he has the bigger picture approach. I think it's brilliant that he doesn't lose track of the path, and that he said, when things go wrong, we have to stick to the plan. And I hope that he does stick to the plan of how he plays and all that. But I hope that he is also amenable to the fact that maybe sometimes the plan is not working. Because, if the plan is not working, it's not working. On the evidence of the Nations Cup qualifiers, the plan is not working. But that's the thing with conviction and coaching. Nobody can stop a coach from sticking to what they do. Stubborn managers do that, and all of us can be like that sometimes. So I can understand why he wants to stick to the plan. But we'll be here. He really has a lot of work to do. We are not stuck in the past. I think we have realistic expectations of the players, and I hope that if he sticks around, he gets them playing way better.